Hello, friends and neighbors. Let's talk about random acts of kindness and the good it produces in our own lives.
Welcome to A Word for Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Each Wednesday, you will find Boggs Family Ministries is here with our host, Davy Boggs. Having you along with us is a wonderful addition. Now, let's enjoy together A Word for Wednesday.
Thank you, Brother Devin, and thank you for joining us on A Word for Wednesday. I want to talk about random acts of kindness and the good it produces in our own lives. But first, an announcement for our next few weeks. Kelly and I will be going soon to Nigeria. The last time we were there, we were not doing these Word for Wednesdays. That started later. I would love to record there and upload there, but I have no idea if that's going to be possible or not. I hope to have some videos in place to play in case I cannot produce videos there. But if I do not, the first few weeks in December, you will know where I am. Hopefully, you'll get to hear from me from Nigeria. I would really love that. Okay, let's talk about these random acts of kindness and the good it produces in the life of the person who gives. Jesus said, "It is better to give than to receive." Now, we do not have record of that chapter and verse in the scripture, but Paul tells us that Jesus said it, and so we know that he did. It's better to give than it is to receive. It's better for us as we give the goodness it produces in our own lives. Let me read a story I ran across very recently online. You may have seen this story because it says here that it went viral. Obviously, I missed it not having access to most social media, but I did run across this recently. The title is How a Hidden Note Spread Ripples of Kindness. The lady's name was Ashley Joss, and I hope I'm saying that last name right, Joss. She was shopping at her local Target when a book caught her eye. She's just 27 years old, and she had pledged to read more books, so she picked up the book that caught her eye, purchased it, went home, and began reading. Shortly after she sat down with the book, her dog barked. So she threw the book aside to go tend to her pet. And when she did, a note fell out of the book. And in that note was a $5 bill. And the note read like this: To the person who buys the book, I'm having a tough day. I thought maybe I could brighten someone else's day with a little surprise. Go buy a coffee, a donut, or a face mask. Obviously, this was probably during COVID pandemic time. Practice some self-care today. Remember that you are loved, you are amazing, and you are strong. And it was signed Lisa. Ashley Joss was so moved by the note that she posted it on Twitter. After several of her friends shared it, the local newspaper got a hold of the story, and the tweet went viral. Not only were people enthusiastic about sharing the story, they were motivated to take part in spreading more random acts of kindness. For example, Joss's dad bought groceries for a customer in front of him at the supermarket. Another follower wrote to Joss that she had been inspired to do acts of kindness in honor of her 19-year-old daughter who had passed away in a car accident a few months earlier. When people saw how easy it is to make a stranger's day, they naturally gravitated to be part of the movement. For Joss, the note was life-changing. Every week since she found it, she has committed herself to acts of kindness to others. She said, "This has shown me the value of checking in with people around me and making sure that I take those opportunities to encourage them. She said, I don't think we can ever do that enough. Wow. I really like that. And maybe I like that because it coincides with something that Kelly and I have been trying to practice all of 2023. We were inspired at the end of last year at Christmas time to reach out to some strangers and try to make their life a little easier at Christmas time. Now, Kelly and I have been tithing since early in our marriage. We set aside as much as we can toward foreign missions and home missions. We help churches, we help other evangelists, and we have helped many people that we know. And occasionally, we have helped a stranger. Oftentimes, when somebody approaches us at a gas station or a truck stop, someplace that we encounter people more often than maybe other people do. Seem like we spend more time in truck stops than the average person probably does. Can you help me? Can you give me some money? Oftentimes I will say to them, I'm not going to give you any money, but if you need some food, I'll go buy it for you. Or if you need some gas, I'll put some in. And we've done that on numerous occasions. And we often never hear from that person again. I have had people say, listen, I want your name and number. I want your address because I'm going to send this back. And I always tell them, please, this is not a loan. This is a gift. Don't worry about it. And I've never heard from any of them. Not saying that they would not have if I told them not to, but it is a joy to help people. But it's not something that random stranger that we have pursued as a matter of habit. But we were inspired, like I said, in December to help a few families make their holiday season just a little easier. So we did. And through that, I told Kelly Jo, I said, I want us to do this every week this year. I want us, our family, Boggs Family Ministries, together to use our resources to help a stranger every week of the year. Now, there are weeks that we're actually, in the country. We're not going to town. We're not eating. We're not going to the laundromat. We didn't get gas. We don't see anybody but church people. And so we try to double up on those other weeks when we're traveling or when we're in town or when we're having access to strangers. But systematically try to do a kindness and be Christ to someone that we do not know. And that's one of the requirements, that it is a stranger. If we decide to help a widow we know or a young couple that we know, if we feel like doing that, we do that out of separate money. This is not the money we've set aside. We want to try every week to help a stranger. And we have enjoyed it so very much. I'm not going to tell you all the stories. It would seem self-serving to some, but let me just tell you about a couple. We meet most people in restaurants, laundromats, and gas stations. That's where we have the most access to people that we do not know. So it's probably no surprise that we have helped waitresses probably more than anyone. Our family was in a restaurant, and the waitress, I don't know how old she was, our age or a little older. It was a little hard to tell. She did a very good job, working very hard. And I said to my wife, I said, let's help her. She said, oh, yes. And so when she came, we paid for our bill. We gave her a tip. And we said, now this is not a tip. This is a small gift from our family. And it was a small gift. And the woman first, oh, no. You've gave me enough. I can't take it. I said, no, we want you to have it. And immediately she started crying. I mean, just bawling. And she said, can I do with this what I want to do with this? I said, yes, it's yours. And she said, can I share this with my coworkers? And when she said that, then we were the ones crying. What a giving heart that lady had. Another waitress that we gave a little bit of money to, she cried and she said, how did you know that my husband just lost his job? And I said to her, we have no way of knowing that, but God knows it. And he's trying to tell you he loves you and he will help you if you ask him to. And the stories go on and on and on and on. What a joy it is for us to do the random acts of kindness. And I know you may say, well, Brother Dave, you must have lots of money. I don't have any money. No, we don't have an abundance of money. But we learned that it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. I can't tell you how many times in years past that we have bought groceries for people when we took it out of our grocery money. When we were pastoring, we would get a call for groceries and we would try to go. And I've had people reject some of the things I bought because I bought them the same off brands and cheaper brands that we were gonna buy for ourselves. And I have literally had people say, oh no, I would never feed that to my children. And I've said to them, I'm sorry, this is what I'm feeding my family right here. This is all I can afford. That's kind of a tragedy story there, but we have given when it was difficult for us to give, and there's even more joy in that. Listen, friend, maybe it is a note in a book. What a novel idea in a $5 bill. Not much that a $5 bill can do, but if it's in the hands of the person that needs it, it's a huge, huge gift. Reach out and encourage someone. Listen, there may be someone that you just need to say, hey, I just want to tell you God loves you and I love you. Here's a Bible. Here's a card. Here's a gift. Here's a hamburger. Whatever it takes. Your giving, a random act of kindness, may make someone's day. We learned something from Brother James Martin when we were in Alaska. We were in his church bus and we were on our way to the homeless shelter, I think, to sing that day. And there was a homeless person with a sign next to the road. He rolled down the window at the stop sign, gave them a bottle of water, some cheese and crackers or peanut butter and crackers that he keeps there in his seat for that reason, and an invitation to his church and the number to call if you needed a ride. And I thought, man, that's great, because I've seen so many people with those signs, and I don't know if I should hand them money. I have done it a time or two when I really felt inspired to do so. I don't know what they're going to do with the money. I don't know whether they're going to buy drugs with it or whether they're going to buy wine with it or whether they're going to feed their children. I really don't know. And sometimes I feel guilty for wanting to investigate. Just donate, Davey. Just help them. But I always feel a little bit reluctant to do so. But a bottle of water, a snack, and so we always keep a bottle of water and some snacks up here in the front, and we love doing that. One day we were leaving we actually had stopped at a restaurant to eat, and with my meal came a dessert. Well, I couldn't eat the dessert, and I forget now what it was, but it was a luscious looking dessert. So we had them put it in a box and took it back to the bus with us so the girls could eat it later. We started to pull out, and there's a lady with a sign, I need food, or I don't remember what it was. It was a very busy intersection. I only had a moment to hand her that and a fork, and then I had to go. I couldn't even watch her response because it was time to go. Kelly watched out the window, and that woman leaned up against a pole, opened that, took a bite of that, and my wife said she went, oh, like it was the best thing she had ever eaten. Man, you talk about making somebody's day. That made her day. I would have loved to have been able to circle back and see what her response was and to get to speak to that lady. No telling how hungry she was, and to have that luscious, probably a $6 or $8 dessert that came with my meal as a special that day. It made her day, and it made my day. How about we do some of that, saints of God? Let's go out and find some people to be good to. No ulterior motives. Not thinking about what you're going to get back. Let's just go be kind. And that is my word for Wednesday. See you next week.
That is our word for Wednesday. We are so glad that you've spent a few minutes with us today. If you've been touched by today's episode, please share it with your friends and family. We welcome your questions or comments below or by email. You can find the email address in the description, along with a link to Mile Markers, the website for Boggs Family Ministries. Also, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and we hope to see you next Wednesday.
Ciao for now.